Hello and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. It is the all-important second leg tie coming from the Copa del Rey between Barcelona and Sevilla. It's live from the Camp Nou on Wednesday night, with Barcelona desperately needing to produce an emphatic comeback if they're going to progress to the semi-finals. Sevilla are currently leading 2-0 on aggregate after our defeat at the Ramon Sanchez-Pizjuan just last Wednesday. Can Barcelona make yet another Camp Nou comeback on Wednesday? We're going to have to wait and see. We are going to find out. Coming up is the match preview with everything you need to know. Kickoff will be coming to us at the usual Copa del Rey time of 9:30 local time. It's a late one. It's under the lights at the Camp Nou. The crowd are going to be in rapturous form. And exactly 1 week after our visit to Seville, which ended in defeat, we're here, we're now, and we're trying to make this comeback. And here, as always, guys, are the kickoff times right around the world. You don't want to miss out on this. Who knows what might happen? And judging by your thoughts in my poll on my community section, the great majority of you here are very confident of progressing tomorrow night. A lot of you feeling like the comeback is certainly on the cards, with an incredible 80% of you going with a win tomorrow by 3+ goals, which would indeed seal our place in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. And exactly who we'd face in that next round is still very much in the balance elsewhere, with Getafe heading to the Mestalla tonight with a slender 1-0 advantage over Valencia, whereas Espanyol and Real Betis are very finely poised at 1-0, with Betis playing their home leg just before ours on Wednesday evening, before Real Madrid will be travelling to Girona to see if they can see out their tie. Girona, though, have 2 away goals, with Los Blancos currently leading 4-2 on aggregate, so certainly all to play for there in all 3 of the other quarter-final ties in the Copa del Rey. But of course, who's going to be left in and who we could face, that's the very least of our concerns right now. Our sole focus is on Sevilla and the comeback that in theory will be very difficult. They're a very good side, they're very well drilled, they're well coached, they've got a lot of good players right throughout their squad, and Sevilla too showed that on Saturday, following up with their win against us with a 5-0 thumping of Levante at the Sanchez-Pizjuan. All 5 of those goals from Sevilla coming in the second half, courtesy of Ben Yedder, who's in fine form right now, Andre Silva, Franco Vasquez, Sarabia as well, scored against us, and Quincy Promes. And certainly that attacking force that Sevilla have built right throughout this season so far, it's going to threaten us tomorrow night. They are a threat going forward, there's no doubt about that. They've got the likes of Ben Yedder, like I say, is in really good form both in La Liga this season and in Europe. He's been really positive for Sevilla. They've got Andre Silva, who's come in on loan, and he's done really, really well. Pablo Sarabia, both in terms of creating and goal scoring, very, very good. And Quincy Promes really seems to be coming into some sort of form now. Now he's adapting to Sevilla and adapting to life in Spain. And certainly tomorrow, we're going to have to watch them on the counter-attack, because one lapse in concentration, one little mistake, that could all but end our tie and our hopes of progressing here. Because let's remember, away goals in the Copa del Rey, they do count. And since we left the Ramon Sanchez-Pizjuan last week without any away goal of our own, will that come back to haunt us? Because it means that one Sevilla goal at the Camp Nou will mean we would need to score 4 times without reply to progress, and only a scoreline tomorrow of 2-0 in our favour would take the game to extra time on the night. But of course, this is Barcelona that we're talking about, and in the famous words of Luis Enrique when we came back, of course, in that emphatic comeback against Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, Luis Enrique said there and then, if PSG score 1 on the night, we can score 6. And we did exactly that. And that's the kind of belief that I feel we need to have tomorrow night. We've got Messi, we've got Suarez. We can't afford to panic here. We're not going to panic. The Copa del Rey, of course, isn't massively high in our priorities for the season. We've made that very, very clear. But these are the kind of nights that you play for and that you live for, both as a footballer and as a supporter. You want to go out there tomorrow and do something special. Create a special memory, a special moment. Go on that pitch there and defy the odds. That's what we want to do. We want to have that belief. We've got all the tools to turn this game around. And certainly tomorrow, I believe the players and the coach, they're going to do everything in their power. And just to give us some real hope here, obviously we're speaking about Sevilla as this fantastic team, and certainly this season in La Liga, they have been brilliant. But especially their big game record away from home, it does give me a lot of hope. Simply because at home, you look at Sevilla, I think at home they could genuinely beat anyone, and I really do mean that. In front of their own fans, they're a brilliant, brilliant side, but away from home, they've always seemed to struggle to replicate that kind of level, that kind of belief. They go away, and they're not quite the same team, and certainly you'll remember the season on Unai Emery, when he was at Sevilla. They won the Europa League, they were brilliant in Europe, they were brilliant at home, but away from home that season, they went the entire season without a win away from home. They definitely lack something away from their own ground. And you look at their record this season, they've been beaten by a lacklustre Real Madrid and the Santiago Bernabeu. That was by 2-0. We beat them 4-2 at the Camp Nou back in October. And I'd actually say in that game, we were not at our best. It wasn't the greatest performance from us, but we still put 4 goals past them. If we can be a bit more tight at the back, we can certainly score goals against this Sevilla side, because we've beaten Sevilla 3-0, which would be enough on 2 occasions over the last 3 years. But what's more important for me than anything else here is that we remove Sevilla's confidence and the belief they'll have coming into this game almost immediately after kickoff. Now, how do you do that? That's the question. How do you remove belief and confidence from a side right now who are doing really good things? Well, coming to the Camp Nou on an enormous pitch in front of a packed crowd, under the lights, it is daunting. Not for Sevilla, but just for any team. Any team coming to the Camp Nou in these kind of circumstances, they can crumble. We've seen it in the past. You look at PSG, the kind of players they have, they still crumbled at the Camp Nou. In that first 10-minute period, we will know whether Barcelona are fully up for this game. Against PSG in the Champions League, and even if you look a few weeks ago in the second leg against Levante, we went for it. We were gunning for it. We were running. We were really working hard. We had that intensity about our game. You can suck the entire life out of your opponent if you start the game in that way. Start with that intensity, that high pressing, moving the ball quickly, making those runs, making sure you're always on the move, playing high at the pitch. You can smother your opponents. You can really compress them into their own half, force them backwards, and really just suck all the life out of their team and out of their legs. And as an opponent at the Camp Nou, you start getting really tired very quickly. Your legs start hurting, they start aching, you've been chasing the ball, you're mentally drained, you start to lose concentration, and suddenly the team are making a comeback that you never really expected. And those Sevilla defenders tomorrow, they'll be looking at the eyes of Lionel Messi, and they'll know their fate straight away. If Messi and Suarez and our attacking force and our in midfield, if we're up for this game, if we truly believe tomorrow, coming into this game, that we want to turn this around, they will give everything. If Barcelona tomorrow are coming out of that pitch and they want to succeed and they want to progress desperately, I really believe they will do it. We have the tools, we have the team, we have the players, we will have the crowd in our pitch and our home stadium tomorrow. If we want to do this, consider it done, because I would back this team until the end. And as you know, guys, I would usually wait for the squad list to come out from Ernesto Valverde, but I was so hyped making this video, talking about this comeback and getting involved with this game, that I'm not even going to wait for the squad list tonight. I believe that Valverde will go strong, and for that reason, we are going to cut to the chase, get straight on to the expected lineup, and of course, then my prediction for the big one. I think here, this is the team that he should go with. I would love to see Dembele in this kind of situation, and if we had Dembele available, I would probably go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. He's not available though, so I would settle for this. Cillison in goal, of course, Alba, Longley, Piqué, and I would go Semedo. I don't think he's going to do that. I think personally he's going to revert back to Sergio Roberto, but after Semedo's performance on the weekend, he was brilliant against Girona, not only in terms of his goal, but his overall play, and I think based on that performance, he deserves to follow that up here and play against Sevilla. Busquets in midfield. Arthur has to start this game. He didn't start against Girona. He came on, he changed the game. He has to be in the team here alongside what's probably going to be Ivan Rakitic, who can certainly chip in with a goal against his old side, Sevilla. Coutinho is starting here from the left simply because no Dembele. Coutinho again here with a massive chance. Go out there tomorrow, be a part of the comeback, inspire the comeback if you can, and give yourself some much needed confidence. Messi here from the right hand side, and Luis Suarez leading the line, leading that attack. And that team there, they can score goals. And they can not only score goals, but they can be balanced in their play. We're not going to go hell for leather. We're not going to commit too many members, because we know if Sevilla score, we've got a big mountain to climb. But at the same time, this team, they can grind Sevilla down, they can wear them out. And I believe with this lineup and with the right intensity and the right mindset, if we want to go through, they can make it happen. And so, with that in mind, it is time now for my score prediction and what I believe will happen in this game. And I'm going to go for it here. I do believe that we will complete the comeback against Sevilla tomorrow. We're going to keep a clean sheet. I'm really going to put my neck on the line there. We're going to keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go Barcelona 3, Sevilla 0. We could be on our way to the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey with an emphatic comeback at the Camp Nou. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. What are your your predictions for tomorrow. What do you expect from the score? What do you expect from Valverde in terms of his team selection? Let me know in the comments down below. I will see you tomorrow for the big game itself. Let's hope for the best. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça!